Belgium is the route into France, the route of the strong right wing with which Schlieffen planned to circle behind the French armies and envelop them in his single massive sweep. 6 weeks to Paris and victory. On his deathbed 2 years before, Schlieffen is supposed to have murmured, "Keep the right wing strong." First roadblock in the German path is the fortress city of Liège, an industrial center with a bristling hedge of guns and concrete. Moltke's armies try to take it by storm. When German manpower, after appalling losses, fails to dent the Belgian forts, German firepower takes over. Siege guns like nothing seen or felt in war before. Squat monsters from Austria's Skoda munitions works, brought up in 3 motor-driven sections with their Austrian crews. Guns from the Krupp works in Germany, requiring 200 attendants and firing shells a yard long. It will be a war of terror weapons. On August 16th, after 12 days of punishment, the defenses of Liège collapse. The timetable has suffered no serious setback, only 2 days delay, only the jolt of casualties. A German general is surprised by the peculiar thud of bullets striking bodies. The right wing sweeps on, though it is not quite the right wing Schlieffen envisioned. Moltke has tempered it with the caution of his own personality. Where Schlieffen wrote, "Let the last man on the right brush the channel with his sleeve," Moltke has flattened the arc. Where Schlieffen would mass 7/8 of his forces for the drive, Moltke has held whole divisions back to meet the threat on his left, the threat of French Plan 17. Plan 17 in motion. Dragoons in horsehair plumes and metal body armor to protect against saber cuts. Artillery that is to be used, not to prepare attack, but only to support it. The force, the élan, must come from the soldier himself. The poilu, dressed in red trousers and blue coats. The colors of a perfect target. On August 14th, as the Germans are wheeling past Liège, the French return to Alsace-Lorraine. The tricolor appears in the streets of liberated towns. 6 days later, Moltke's left wing drives them back. In their traditional armor, the poilu in their traditional colors, have run into the weapons of a new age. By August 25th, the tricolor is gone from Alsace. Plan 17 is finished. The French are in retreat. August 1914 on the Eastern Front. German towns in the scrubby farmland of East Prussia under bombardment by the advancing Russian armies. Nothing to slow them down but the streams of German refugees clogging the roads. That and their own faulty organization. According to the calculations of the Schlieffen Plan, it would take the cumbersome Russian steamroller 6 weeks to gather momentum. But in less than half that time, Russia has somehow mounted an offensive. 2 Russian armies, their ragged discipline trimmed by the Tsar's prohibition edict, which keeps vodka out of the troops' hands. One army, under General Pavel Rennenkampf, pauses. Another, under Alexander Samsonov, rushes up to meet it and close the pincers on the Germans. The team of German generals, old Paul von Hindenburg, brought out of retirement, and the younger Erich Ludendorff, rushed east from victory at Liège, now begin to direct the countermeasures. The solution already plotted by a junior officer, already anticipated by years of general staff planning. The solution lies in the railroads. An entire Army Corps, 25,000 men, on the move from one part of the front to the other. 2 more march overland and 3 others are shipped cross-country from the West Front by Moltke. He is borrowing from his strong right wing, spreading the risk unnecessarily. Leaving only a thin screen of cavalry in the north, where Rennenkampf's attack has halted, the Germans shift their weight to meet Samsonov in the south. Rushing toward his scheduled rendezvous, he plunges into the German trap, is annihilated. Disaster near a wooded hill called Tannenberg. His army disintegrating, Samsonov commits suicide. The steamroller goes into reverse. By August 30th, the Germans have won the war's first great victory. On the Western Front, Joffre welcomes an ally, Horatio Herbert Kitchener, Lord Kitchener of Khartoum, hero of campaigns in the Sudan. His British Expeditionary Force, barely settled into position alongside the French, has already been dislodged by the German First Army, its command headed by General Alexander von Kluck. Kluck is the key man in the Schlieffen Plan. On the strong right wing, his army is the loaded wingtip. Now, in the last week of August, it is making its crucial arc, swinging from Belgium into the factory cities of northeast France and on toward Paris, circling the Allied flank. Along the roads, scenes from a bitter episode of history are being reenacted. French families in flight from a German invasion, echoes of 1871. As the capital digs in against another siege, the American ambassador makes plans to go out and meet the German commander at the outskirts, with a request to see the Kaiser and a plea to spare the city. An old soldier, General Joseph Simon Gallieni, has been summoned from retirement to take command of the city's defenses. Around him, the government of France breaks up, reorganizes, and finally, on September 2nd,